What's up, guys? Sorry about the glare on the camera from the sunlight beaming in, but yeah, this video. Normally I actually have a theme topic or whatever. This one has a theme too, but this topic is a little bit personal. It's a little bit about my life. It's a little bit, because normally I don't even make videos, about my personal life, my experiences, what I've been through, because certain people are watching it and it may be used against me later. But oh well, I feel like I gotta, well, not really address this, but kind of like, spill my guts. Because, all right, you guys are familiar with what an inferiority complex is, or a Napoleon complex. Y'all are familiar with that is. If for the people who aren't, let me tell y'all what it is. Also known as a small man's complex. It's about men and in some cases women who are lacking in height, or who are smaller, or just plain flat out short. They feel inferior to people who are bigger or taller than them. And it's no secret. I'm a little guy. I'm not no big guy. It may look like it on camera or whatever. And for people who don't know me personally, people who just watch my videos, whatever. But like in real life, I'm about 5'5.5", maybe. Well, yeah, I guess about 5'5", 5'6" with shoes on or whatever. But I guess I'm still short in a lot of people's eyes, and I've always been known as Little J from the jump. From friends to family, I've always been known as Little J, and like that has stuck with me for the remainder of my life, or just a good portion of my life. But like I said, I got my mother's genes, so I got her to thank for that. But God bless my mother. I'm healthy and I'm alive. And, who cares about my height? But I'll get into that in a second. Now I'm gonna take this back to where it all started. Now, like I said, I have always been, I guess, well, not really always been a short guy, but like I said, it's been a lot of people who've towered over me or whatever. But even as far back as kindergarten. Now, what's funny is, like, this is the funny thing. Now, in kindergarten, I wish I had a picture with me just so I could show you guys examples. I don't know, but yeah, in kindergarten, I was the tallest kid in class. Of course, it doesn't mean anything now because it was 20 goddamn years ago. But yeah, I'm like, it's funny because I look up from kindergarten, I'm like, man, I'm the biggest kid in class. And then on and on, I go first grade, second grade, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and stuff like that. Like, then I noticed something. Like, everybody else is getting bigger and taller and growing up and filling out more. And I just stayed the same. And I'm like, geez, is something wrong with me? Even my mom took me to the doctor and was like, oh no, like he's healthy, he's perfectly normal. Like maybe he just got your genes, that's what it was. And like the size thing, so here's a stigma with short men or whatever. Like, and here's where the Napoleon complex or the inferiority complex sets in, because a lot of short guys, they feel like because they lack in height, they gotta compensate for it in some way. They gotta make up for it in some kind of way. And as a short guy, I've always felt like I've had to prove myself, or I feel like I've had to prove my self-worth to other people around me, to let them know that I'm just as capable of doing anything as they are. And the struggle of being a short guy, even like I said, I'm just gonna go back from the beginning. I always was known as Little J or Little whoever. Like when I was growing up, my parents called me. Well, my parents and all my little cousins and stuff, they used to call me Tui. Yeah, Tui was my nickname when I was growing up. But yeah, like, because you know how like in a certain group, like middle school, high school, that like you would see like one or two little guys in a group, or you see like one little guy in a group, and he'd surround himself by a whole bunch of other big guys or big taller guys. And this is kind of like the mob, this is kind of like a mob stereotype or whatever. Like the mob boss will be the smallest one. He'll surround himself by big guys, but the strongest and most intimidating guy is the small guy. He's the brains of the operation. And I guess it wasn't really like that with me because I really wasn't around that crowd or whatever, but it is what it is. But yeah, like when I was growing up or whatever, like how you'll always get into trouble, or you always be causing some kind of mischief or doing something you're not supposed to do. Like, and people like could like whenever like me and the crew or the gang or whatever, when we ever do something mischievous or get in some trouble or whatever, and if we got caught doing something we weren't supposed to do, then like one person, and then like one person be like, yo, Jay, man, you gotta take the rap for us. Like, if the grown-ups catch us, you gotta take the rap because you're the smaller one, you're the younger one, you're not gonna get in trouble. Bullshit. I end up if I was to take the rap for the whole crew, then I'll be the one that end up getting in the most trouble. And that's not fair. But I mean, I guess that's what you get. That's, like I said, that's one of the stigmas that come with it. And athleticism. The number one thing that short guys always get, I mean, like, because basketball is usually like, like basketball or football was a sport that I always liked to play when I was a kid. And football's still my favorite sport. But the thing is, like, when you play basketball, the short guys always get picked last. And that's one thing I had to overcome. I'm like, wait a minute, why do all the tall kids get picked first? It's because, well, the tall kids can get rebounds. I mean, but the thing is, like, even in basketball, like, the shorter guys have a lower center of gravity. They're better with the ball. They can dribble, better than the tall guys, and they're faster, and they can, their passing is better. They can have more assists. But, I mean, I guess being tall in a sport like basketball is what really matters. I mean, and another thing, the ladies. I can go on and on about this, and I guess it's something that I had to overcome because, like, I feel like from finding a decent woman, or for me finding a girl who's attractive, or finding a girl who's, who I think is attractive, who I think is, beautiful or whatever, I feel like my height has held me back from finding a decent woman. And people can say, well, it's the inside. People can say, it's what's on the inside that counts all they want. Bullshit. Everybody got standards and everybody got, preferences as far as what they want. And basically, if you're a guy who's under the height of 5'10", you're pretty much just shit out of luck. Well, I mean, like, but then again, like you said, like, not everybody's shallow and not everybody's superficial or whatever. I mean, and there's some people who will like you for who you are no matter what. But, oh yeah, and I even said this on Facebook. And like, who has it harder? Short guys or fat chicks? The thing is, like, a lot of say nobody likes fat women, but the thing is, they can lose the weight. Height is genetic, so you can't really do too much about that. And people ask, like, well, what do you say about, like how does a small man compensate for height? I mean, like, but even look at fat guys. Even like fat guys or ugly guys can make up for it by being tall or muscular. Ugly guys can make up for it by being funny, being nice dressers, having money or whatever. But if you're a short guy, you got a lot of work to do. You have a hell of a lot of work to do. And this is just also another personal thing that I'm going to get off my chest, you guys. I feel like the reason why, like, a lot of females, like, it's like the common short guy thing is you're constantly overlooked by people who don't think you're capable enough. You're always overlooked by guys who a lot of people around you they overlook you because they think they're better than you. And like whenever I'm gonna take you guys back to high school now. In high school, like, it was a lot of, I felt like I was a baby fish in a shark tank. I felt like I was a predator. I felt like, because even around my friends and family and stuff like that, when you're a small guy, you're the victim of a lot of shit. You're the victim of wedgies and wet willies and spitballs and hot foots, and you're the victim of a lot of pranks, and because you're small. And I didn't even really get in my first fight until the 2nd grade, which I lost. And then I got another fight in the 6th grade. I've only been in like maybe 2 or 3 fights in school. Now, the 3rd one was my most recent one. Well, not most recent, but it's been about a while now. Pretty close to 11 years ago now. But my most famous fight, well, not famous fight, but the fight that I remember the most vividly was this kid who was picking on me, and like he picked on, well, he didn't really pick on everybody, but he thought that I was the one to pick on. But eventually you keep picking on somebody small and they're not going to take it anymore, and they're just going to spaz on your ass. And that's what happened with me and him. He ended up like flicking me in the ear and trying to give me wedgies and push me and stuff like that, and like trying to like throw me in the locker and everything. And then one day in the lunchroom, he slapped me in the face. A slap so hard that you can hear it. And then finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I just jumped on top of him, grabbed the collar of his shirt just so he couldn't walk away, or just so he couldn't get away. I was on top of him, wailing on him. And like, that's the one fight that I didn't get in trouble for. I didn't get in trouble for that fight because it was self-defense. Well, I did get ISS. I did get in-school detention, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, when you're a short guy, you do have to do a lot to prove yourself. I mean, you feel like if you're a short guy, you have to work twice as hard to get the respect that everybody else just gets handed to them. It's the same thing. Like I posted this as a status on Facebook yesterday. Like I'm pretty sure everybody has went through this or knows somebody who's gone through this at least once. You know how if you work, you know how like if you're at a job or something like that, or you're pursuing a career, you work hard for weeks and months and years, and then a person who knows the right people or has the right connections or just kisses the right person's ass, they get the spot handed to them over you just because they got those connections, and that's not fair. That's a stigma, and that's kind of a double standard. And I've always felt that way because I was a small guy, but I feel like the way that I don't really feel like I'm an ugly guy. I mean, come on, look at this face. And I mean, I always felt like I'm not only am I not ugly. I mean, I feel like I'm an attractive person, but I feel like it's taken more of that for people to take me serious, or for people who for me people to take me seriously or not. I've always felt like I've had to, I don't know, make up for it in other areas. I mean, people know me as a funny guy. I mean, like I've always had to, known as be funny. Like people, one of my strengths is making people laugh. And of course, the dreads and everything. People, and I get this question asked too. Like, you feel like the reason why? I mean, like your because dreadlocks is a real popular style now. I mean, because of rappers and everything. Like, do you feel like your dreadlocks make up for your lack of height? I mean, I'm not gonna front and say it doesn't. I mean, I'm not gonna act like that's the only reason why people actually notice me and pay attention to me. But I feel like it does help. I feel like it does help. But there's a lot of struggles being a small man that you do have to overcome, even in professional sports. Like a lot of the bigger, taller guys are always looked at as these strong, powerful juggernauts, and they're always looked at as these unstoppable figures and everything. And then meanwhile, the small guys are looked at as well, he's got a lot of potential, he's got this, but he's just lacking in this one area. And they won't say what that one area is, but we all know what it is. It's like, oh yeah, you doubt me just because I'm short, or you doubt me just because I'm small. But yeah, the thing is, like, the thing is, like, if you have the right amount of confidence, like, people say, well, you just got to have confidence in yourself. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. And that's pretty much the best advice you can give somebody who has any kind of confidence issues or any kind of complex, because you have to walk around. I mean, like, if you walk around with a chip on your shoulder, you walk around with something to prove, then of course, then you gotta have something to boost yourself up. You gotta have people, like, motivational tools. You gotta, like, if you don't have anybody else around you motivating you, be your own motivator. Like, don't look for other people to co-sign you, because the other people to co-sign you, I mean, like, their words are only as strong as them. Now, I've always had the right people in my circle to boost me up, or whatever. I mean, of course, they might pick on me or whatever too, but I never really took it. I never really took what they said seriously, like, or the people who tried to downsize me. But yeah, just to give you guys a pretty good. I mean, like, females don't really have to worry about this, too much, because even a short woman, they can still get a man. I mean, because, like, short girls like tall guys, tall girls like tall guys. Where does that leave the short guys at? That really leaves us with I mean, I'm not gonna say like less desired women. I mean, because like I said, we got a lot of, because men, we have a lot of shortcuts. We can have money, we can be good dressers, we can be funny. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, we have a lot of strikes against us. I mean, like, we have to have a lot of things, to make up for that, or like we feel like we have to prove ourselves. And like I said, for lack of a better word, we do got to prove ourselves. We do got to prove that we're capable, we're just as capable as anybody else who's bigger than us. But I've always felt like, if height is all you have, then you're just big for nothing. You're just a big body. That's it. But like a lot of teens who, like, a lot of kids and teens who could be watching this video, if you are on the short side, I mean, don't ever let anybody unmotivate you. Don't ever let anybody, tell you that you're not this or you can't do something just because you're lacking in height. You're just as capable as everybody else is. Don't ever let nobody tell you any different. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Yeah, this is a long ass video, but this is pretty much all I had to say. I had to get this off my chest. But yeah. What do you guys think? Like, is it like what stigmas in your life have you ever had to go through, or like what insecurities do you have? Do you feel like you've had to overcome? Are you short? Are you tall? Are you fat? Are you skinny? Do you feel like you don't have a good smile? Do you feel like, you're not as good looking as other people around you? Are you light skinned? Are you dark skinned? Like, what insecurities do you have? And what in your life do you feel like you've had to use to overcome that? But anyway, you already know. I'm just going to give you guys a popular quote to end this video. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. I'm out, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. And like I said, I don't really make too many of these spill your heart out videos, but I just want to, for people who actually watch the video from start to finish and can feel me, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate that. Peace.